Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to I Hate Rock Music. And this video is going to be about the band Country Weather. They were a really big band in San Francisco for a while. They came out of Walnut Creek, California, outside of San Francisco, and they were called the Virtues. They were together from 1966 to 1973, so they spent the first several years in Walnut Creek. Then they moved to Frisco, changed their name to Country Weather, and were a staple in local clubs around there, playing the Avalon and opening for all the big bands, and played with touring acts like the Jeff Beck Group. And so they were a major attraction there. And when I first heard about them, I thought, oh, Country Weather, they're a country rock band. But then I got the reissue, and even the reissues come out with not that much fanfare, and a lot of people don't know about them. But I got the reissue of their recorded material, and just outstanding. It boggles the mind once again. A band of this quality that was around that long didn't manage to record a single or an album the whole time they were together. So now we have this reissue that's come out, and it has their original 1969 demo, which is they did an acetate with like 50 copies, 5 songs, and so it was given out to business types and friends and like that. But so the demo is on this new reissue, and then a bunch of live material, and then some studio material they did in '71. So the band is Dave Carter on vocals and bass, Steve Deere on vocals and guitar, Bill Barron on drums, and then at one point they had Denny Rogan on lead guitar, and another point they had Greg Douglas on lead guitar. So there's a little few changes in their lineup, and not surprising considering how long they were together. And then of course not having that much success, people are going to come and go. And Dave Carter, the vocalist bassist, ended up in Quicksilver Messenger Service and played with Skip Spence from Moby Grape, which makes a lot of sense when you hear Country Weather's music. And then Greg Douglas, lead guitar player, ended up with the Steve Miller Band, and briefly formed a power trio with Rick Barron, the drummer from Country Weather. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the power trio, but when you hear the quality of his work, it makes me drool thinking about that guitar player and that drummer being in a power trio. So if I find out anything more about that, I'll probably do a video on it because it would be important. So 2005, the double LP came out and has all this material on it. And the '69 demo is pretty low key. Sounds like a great quasi psychedelic rock band in San Francisco, a little bit like the Moby Grape and things like that. But then you get in the live material, and wow, they really pack a wallop. They're just killer players. No wonder they were not intimidated by playing with some of these other big bands. The rhythm section's outstanding. The drummer just kills it, and the guitar work is just stunning. And the vocal work is really excellent too. And they have a lot of strong material. And I guess they used to do a lot of covers too. I read one article that talked about them doing a cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which is kind of an interesting to pick, particularly back in that era when the Beatles were still around. And then for a band like this, and they're really up there with Moby Grape and Quicksilver Messenger Service in a lot of ways. I kind of prefer Country Weather. They're just so smoking and have so much energy, and they're such great players, and the tunes are great, and even the few cover tunes they do are just excellent. And if you like the Moby Grape, and you like Quicksilver Messenger Service, and you like San Francisco bands in general, you got to hear Country Weather. They're one of the best I've heard, and again, I'm just flabbergasted that nobody ended up signing them, or that they didn't even put out a single or two on their own. But thankfully we have these recordings. It's taken a lot of years, obviously, for this material to come out, but it was worth the wait. And now Country Weather, legendary status. I've definitely read some articles about people that got to see the band, and they were just floored. And when you hear the live material, you can tell there's a really good crowd there, and they're very enthusiastic of the band. So they were definitely well loved, and they were a finely oiled machine. Some of this live material from '69 and '70 is just smoking. And again, I can't believe how great the band is, all across the board, all just excellent players. What a great band! And so, without further ado, as always, the links below. Check them out. As I mentioned, if you like Quicksilver and bands like that, you have to hear Country Weather because they're going to be one of your favorites. So definitely a favorite of mine now, and I'll lament till my last dying breath that they never managed to get signed and put out a proper album. I'm Brian Fox. Thanks for watching I Hate Rock Music.